in the field for real. I'm about my check for real. I'm about my respect for real. My diamonds are crystal clear.
They clear.
I'm shining from ear to ear.
I'm shining from ear to ear. Stand my ground, I ain't showing no fear. I done came up like the top of the stairs. These takers, they cannot compare. I'm in the crowd with the mosh pit. I hit the stage and it showed. I'm in the game, I can't forfeit. Honestly, I'ma make more.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
There you go.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Shaq Lawson in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
You go 46.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. Nowhere to get away, and down he goes. Taylor is sacked.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point.
Check three. Under.
3rd and long, it's Taylor. He's going to fire one deep. This is caught inside the 15. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves them from a 3-and-out. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Two jet.
Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Taylor. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
3rd and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Z. 53, check 53. Under. I got you. Hey.
From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
They'll try and run it with McCoy. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. LaShawn McCoy with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Bills have taken the early lead. Hauschka adds the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They'll run it here. This is James White. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Here we go, 46. Here we go, 180. 26.
Prescott from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. Would be ideal.
It's complete to his tight end, Charles Clay. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Charles Clay, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And his throw is incomplete. Edelman unable to hang on that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
4 down. Check. There we go. 180.
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Gun. What is it?
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just 1 throw.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Michel. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that.
On the ground is Michel, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Jonathan Hankins in on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
There we go. 180.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Over the middle, it's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Here we go, 46. 4 down. Check. 26.
A 1st down throw for Prescott. He's going to wind up and air it out. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Watch that in. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. There we go. Wide 80. Gun. 26.
On 2nd down, Prescott again. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A really nice gain of 25 yards. The Patriots into the red zone for the first time. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Even. 4 down. Even. 26.
They'll throw again. Prescott. Dancing to his left. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
The ball down at the 1 as they come up after the penalty on another 2nd and goal.
Here we go, 47.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. He tried to break that plane but couldn't get there, and that's going to leave him now at 3rd and goal.
Way to go, defense. Way to go. What happened? That's what I'm talking about. Nice play, baby. Nice play.
New England on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
Here we go.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. As a man, and it's Edelman for the Patriot touchdown. Julian Edelman, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Patriots are back within a score. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And here come the Bills. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Now a handoff looking right. And he stopped immediately there. Dante Hightower on the stop.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, Taylor. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very solid gain of 27. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They go play action with Taylor. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. 3rd and long, Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. And the pressure gets to him again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right.
Hey, here we go. Wide eight. Gun.
So Mike's number 1. Mike.
26. 26.
Prescott now on 2nd down. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Prescott now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Prescott off play action. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Here you go. There you go. Wide in. Hey, 47. 26.
Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. Slant route caught by Edelman. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
3rd and short yardage. Prescott. And a third down pass falls incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
This is taken at the 15. So 1:55 to go in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Taylor. And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Now the Patriots gearing up to go now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
There we go. Wide eight.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Dante Fowler in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. On play action, Prescott, and fights him off. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Love his pocket awareness, able to slip out of the sack. But once you take your eyes off the receivers, once your eyes come down and you see the rush, hard to get back downfield and find an open target. Fortunate, that one just wound up as an incomplete pass.
New England on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
Here we go. 180. Check, check. 26.
Looking to throw. Prescott shreds the tackle. Oh, Prescott stripped. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And now he's got him in a great spot at the 8-yard line here, 1st and goal. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
But we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for New England. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. He'll take it at the 42. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the 2nd half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the 2nd half of Week 17 is underway. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
When you kick off and you go downfield and get the ball back, that's what I call a great opportunity.
In a 1-score game, I always circle, and you know this, but in my play-by-play sheet, I circle big plays. It could be turning points. This could be a turning point.
Did you put a second circle around this one? This is pretty big.
I put a star. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. 180.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Dante Fowler in on the stop.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try to chip someone at the second level.
Goes right side, complete to Gronk. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Shaq Lawson in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Here we go. 46. Here we go. 180. Here we go. 46. Here we go, 46. 26. 26.
Here's Prescott into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They'll try and get the running game going with McCoy. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's Taylor. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. A big play here for Buffalo. 47 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Watch safety creeping. Under.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd down, here's Taylor. Over the middle and caught by the tight end Clay. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Z.
On 3rd and 1, it's Taylor. He finds Coleman. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. Taylor will lead up the offense 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far.
Hey. Under.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 7 yards on the quick slant and a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Taylor will lead up the offense 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
Slow. Under.
Now they try the right side here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Taylor. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
And now out come the Patriots. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Hey, we got 4. We got 4 now.
This drive starts out on the ground with Michel. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Everyone, here we go. 180.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Watch tight. Tight is right. Here we go. 180. 180.
Play action now. Prescott. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Taking it about the 16. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bills' offense now, they field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that'll help him at contract. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Back now in Foxborough. It's the Bills with a lead and the football here to begin the 4th quarter. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
4 down. Alert. Tighten up. Slow. Z. Check Mike.
Taylor. And incomplete on the deep ball. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
The Bills on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be third and forever. From the gun, it's Taylor. Forced out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Equanimous St. Brown, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bills will extend their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. That is now seven interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. It was Duke Dawson on the tackle, the second-round pick in 2018. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Taylor to throw on 2nd down. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
3rd and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And that is incomplete. Jonathan Jones that time, the one who got a hand in, knocked it away. Something of a rare incompletion. Remember, Charles, last week under 50% throwing the football. That's what he was, but he has turned that around in this game.
Last week was commonly known as a fluke. For him to be under 50%, not normal, not the usual. But to be up over 80%, that's extra time in practice, and that's throwing with extra confidence as well.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
Here we go.
They begin with Michel on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
Switch and eight. Switch and eight.
A second down throw for Prescott. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. New England on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go. 26.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he'll be brought down around the 7-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Taylor, and he rifles one incomplete. Charles Clay is tight in the intended target, and it's 3rd down. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers to get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
The Bills on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Hauschka with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Oh, he dropped it. And that's the way this one's gone. Or on lockdown.
Listen, they've